English writer H.G. Wells is remembered as one of the greatest writers in the history of English literature. He's often referred to as the father of science fiction. His works like War of the Worlds foretold our fascination with extraterrestrial life. And that's just one story out of the countless others that has influenced so many dystopian and science fiction stories. Now, one thing you may not know is that although he was a pacifist, he did have another side project, Wargames. Released in the year 1913, Little Wars brought strategy and warfare to the minds of your average upper-middle-class first-world citizen, going beyond the scope of chess with additional variables like terrain, weather, intelligence, troops, all the bells and whistles of war. You could imagine Little Wars to be the Call of Duty of its time. Today on The Absurdist, we will be interviewing Ray Weiss, a wargame creator. He runs a small company, Conflict Simulations, from his apartment in Brooklyn, with the company of only his cats and his war games.
Alright, so are you gonna ask me the questions, or do I just talk stream of conscious?
Talk stream of conscious, and I'll cut and slice it into.
Okay, so you need to remind me again because I can't remember all of that.
What does your company do?
We publish war games, specifically board games that deal with different battles or conflicts in history. I guess I first I studied history and political science in college, and then on top of that I've always been interested in game design. Years and years ago I designed a pen and paper game, or pen and paper role-playing game about dolphins. And I guess years later, somehow most of the jobs I had after college were not great, and I figured I'd finally use my degree for something useful. All war games are, it's just a game. They're nothing more than it's not a simulation, but I would think that wargaming teaches better critical thinking skills than most games. I mean, of course, you have games like chess and Go. And you have other games, strategy games like that, but there's specifically no degree of chance. And I guess one thing that makes war games different is that you have the maneuver or positioning angle that you would in chess or Go, but you introduce a random element of chance in terms of combat resolution or getting a force to do what you want it to do. There's a number of different ways you could introduce chance into a game, and I guess with a war game, you kind of want to see, most people play it to see alternate history or what could have happened.
Do you think that there's people in the army or top tier war generals doing this on their free time?
Well, yeah, no, there definitely is. There's a commercially available series of games named after a doctrine of warfare called the Coin series, which is counter-insurgent. I forget what it is. It's counter-something insurgency. But it's all about games like Algiers, Rome and Britain, Vietnam, Cuba, asymmetrical warfare.
Who plays your games?
I think for the most part, baby boomers and Gen Xers. But that's even to say if they play them, I don't know. A lot of them just collect them. And it's kind of funny because I spend hours and hours and a lot of energy testing these, and I have no idea. I mean, so far I've gotten decent reviews and nobody's hated any games so far, so I don't know if people have either hated them or they're just not playing them. But, I think the majority of people that play them are wargamers. There's some that are starting, I guess, to develop now, but it's for a long time been a hobby of the overeducated and with nothing to do and nothing better to do. So it's always sort of been a niche hobby.
Wait, is it niche or niche?
I don't know
I think
niche.
it's niche, yeah.
I know I like know words, but like I've
Same.
read them a billion times and I've never said them out loud.